As a diehard fan of Resident Evil 4, I was ecstatic to hear about the remake and couldn't wait to try out the Mercenaries mode. And let me tell you, it did not disappoint. The updated graphics and smoother gameplay made for an even more intense experience. The Mercenaries mode itself is a welcomed addition to an already amazing game. It's fast-paced, challenging, and addictive. I've seen plenty of comments of angry fans about having to wait a few weeks for this extra mode, to the point where they were calling Resident Evil 4 Remake an incomplete game. And that honestly befuddles me. I get it, Mercenaries was in the original, but I don't see the issue waiting a couple of weeks for the same thing. We didn't pay for it, so why complain?
Insubordinate and churlish.
Let's continue with this review. The objective to Mercenaries is simple: kill as many enemies as possible within the time limit while racking up combos for extra points. One thing that stood out to me was the variety of playable characters with their unique weapons and abilities. It added a new level of strategy as I experimented with different combinations to see what worked best for my playstyle. I had to choose my character wisely based on their strengths and weaknesses. Overall, when it comes to the mechanics and gameplay elements of the Resident Evil 4 Remake Mercenaries mode, I have to say that I'm thoroughly impressed. The 4 characters included are Leon, Luis, Krauser, and Hunk. Each of them are well balanced and divergent to one another. If I had to choose a character that was the most difficult for me though, it was Luis for sure. I loved the challenge, but his overall speed, mixed with his rate of fire with the Red 9, it was welcomed but a difficult challenge to say the least. Using the dynamite did help a lot, but I had trouble all the same. If I had to choose a favorite though, it'd for sure be Hunk. He is a complete beast even without his mayhem mode. But as soon as you activate his special, he's practically invincible. Mowing down enemies one after another was addicting. I loved the special enemies added for the game as well. It added more challenge to the already challenging scenarios, especially in the castle level. Both special enemies in the castle section, they were a pain in the ass. They were a pain in the ass in the story, they were a pain in the ass in the campaign, and they are still a pain in the ass in Mercenaries. This Mercenaries mode exceeded my expectations and has become one of my favorite parts of the game. It's a thrilling challenge that keeps me coming back for more, and I highly recommend it to any Resident Evil fan. The gameplay was smooth and fast-paced with intense action sequences that kept me on the edge of my seat throughout. The controls were responsive for each character available, which wasn't a worry considering how good the campaign played, but it's always nice knowing the extra characters feel like their own and play just as smooth. There's no shortage of ways to dispatch your foes, and each weapon feels distinct with its own strengths and weaknesses as well. The game's scoring system also adds a layer of depth to the gameplay, trying to rack up as many points as possible by taking out enemies quickly or chaining together combos keeps things exciting and encourages repeat playthroughs. Overall, I think the Mercenaries mode and the gameplay elements of Resident Evil 4 Remake as a whole are top-notch. It's clear that a lot of thought went into making sure everything feels polished and fun to play in. In terms of the comparison to the previous versions of the game and other similar games in the genre, I have to say that Resident Evil 4 Remake's Mercenaries mode is a standout experience. And we don't even have all the characters that are in the game yet, because I know we're supposed to be getting Ada Wong and Wesker as well, and hopefully some more. Let's add some legacy characters. Come on, Ethan Winters, baby, please. Anyways, I just wanted to do a quick little review of the Mercenaries mode in Resident Evil 4 Remake. I mean, it's a smaller video. There's not much that really goes into it other than how I experienced it. And it was a very positive experience. It's a great addition to the game, and it didn't bother me whatsoever that I had to wait 2 weeks for the DLC to come out, because I was doing a second and third playthrough of Resident Evil 4 Remake anyways. That's going to wrap up this video. If you haven't already, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It does help me out a lot, and not only helps me, but it does help you stay connected with all of my videos coming in the future. And until next time, take it easy, bubs.